Graduation has not been kind to the Derby and Amity High School football programs. Both Housatonic League rivals enter the 1992 season with very young teams and numerous underclassmen set to play at key positions. Brad Chernovitz returns at quarterback for Coach Butch Marazi's Amity Spartans. And in the words of Marazi, as Chernovitz goes, so go the Spartans. Chernovitz will look to jumpstart the Amity offense with the passing game. Fellow captain and tight end Brett Cox is the top Amity receiver. The running game should be the Red Raiders' strength in 1992 with Dave and Roman and Jeff Robinson returning in the backfield. Questions remain at quarterback for Coach Charlie DeCenzo, where sophomore Steve Tilkey and Chris Ruther have split the playing time in the preseason scrimmages. From Ryan Field in Derby, it's Amity against Derby in their Housatonic League opening matchup on Telemedia Sports Valley High School Football Game of the Week. Hello again, everyone. Ed Clements, Buddy Chernovitz from Ryan Field in Derby, and welcome to our Valley High School football season on Telemedia Sports. Buddy, the Amity Spartans, they have Brad Chernovitz, a returning quarterback. They have a green offensive line. They've been hit hard with graduation. The only returning offensive lineman, the tight end, Brett Cox. Problems for Amity?
A lot of problems if they're going to try and throw the ball, and Brad is going to need some time to get the football off. They've worked hard at trying to provide him with adequate time. It'll be interesting to see how they react really to the Derby Red Raiders, their defense, especially if Derby decides to stun people, how they're going to pick it up, because Brad's going to need some time to throw. Obviously, if Amity's going to be successful, they got to be able to put the football in the air.
All right, now I had a chance to talk with the Derby coaches just a few minutes ago. They still have not told me who the starting quarterback is going to be. They split the time between the two sophomores. Let's talk about the special problems in having two quarterbacks entering the season. I'm talking about Steve Tilkey or Chris Ruther. At this point, we don't know who's going to start. And what you as a coach, what are the problems about a rotation system at quarterback? We may see it this evening.
Well, I think for sophomores it's not a problem because neither one is expecting to be starting. The fact that both are going to get ample playing time, and I think Coach DeCenzo will go with the guy who's having the hot hand if one of them is. You're obviously going to have two young men who are inexperienced, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle the pressure here at Derby tonight in the opening game.
Well, when I talked with both coaches a couple of nights ago, they said the same thing. They say they have to get up early on their opponents, and they have to start this season well because they're just that inexperienced.
Both teams are inexperienced, not only Amity but Derby. They both bring some young people into this football game. Obviously, getting on top is going to be important, but I think also mistakes are going to be a key to this game. Young people are going to make mistakes. If they're aggressive mistakes, coaches can live with them, but I think the team that makes the least amount capitalizes on the other team's errors are going to come out ahead tonight. It's going to be an interesting game. I think we'll have a good crowd, and I think it's a great game to kick it off. As Coach Marazi will say later, the kickoff classic.
Oh, you took my words away from me. We'll be right back with Amity Derby football from here at Ryan Field right after these messages.
Just when you thought it was too expensive to go out for lunch, along comes Oxford Convenience Plus Deli. Homemade food at convenient prices. Open at 6 a.m. for breakfasts. Open till 10 p.m. for dinners. Lunch specials include soups, hot dishes, and sandwiches of all shapes and sizes. To get a menu with daily specials faxed to you, give us a call or fax. Oxford Convenience Plus, Route 67 at Oxford Plaza, Oxford.
An act of God is a hard act to follow. We know. We do it every day. But right now, it's harder than ever because our disaster relief fund is gone. Our ability to help is threatened. Support the Red Cross. Call 1-800-842-2200. We can't do it without you.
Welcome back, everyone, and we are just moments away from the opening kickoff to our Valley High School football season in Telemedia Sports. Derby has won the opening coin toss. They have elected to receive. Back deep for Derby, Dave and Roman, along with Joe Cabral. Amity kicking it off as we kick off the high school football season.
Dave and Roman, and number 25.
And oh yes, Just moments ago, I talked to Coach Charlie DeCenzo, and they will start at quarterback Steve Tilkey. There is Dave Enroman in your picture, the senior captain, and in your picture right there, Bob Turiano, sophomore kicking specialist for Amity. Rather warm, humid, sticky night. The Ryan Field. A lot of butterflies of these players. Two young teams out there as they begin the Housatonic League season. Underway, end over end. That's enrollment. And Roman gets across the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line. And let's take a look now at the Derby offense.
Brought down by number 67, Steve Burdick.
Important for the Red Raiders, especially with Telke at quarterback, how they open up in the first series. Amity, a very inexperienced defense. It'll be interesting to see how these young men react in their first varsity encounter.
Let's, while we have this break in the action early on in this football game, let's look at that young Amity defense. Of course, you're going to notice the linebackers, Brett Cox and Bob Marlowe. Cox was a defensive end last year, but Butch Marazzi did not want to put young players in the linebacking spot for Amity. And
Strength for the Spartans is up the middle. Chernovitz at safety, Marlowe and Cox. Gervasio has done a great job at the nose. They've got some good strength in the middle.
Great shot, line of scrimmage as we open up. First play from scrimmage. The straight handoff into the line. Raskin on the tackle.
Derby's going to offer misdirection. This is just a straight ahead play. You see the quarterback just reverse, give the ball to the fullback. He just tries to get off tackle. Raskin does a good job, 85, coming off the block of number 77, Joe Leatshoe for the Derby Red Raiders.
Ball carrier was Dave Bizzato on the first down carry. And here's Enroman from that left halfback spot. Dave Enroman inbounds as he picked up a few on the play. Raskin again on the tackle for Amity. Third down coming up.
Watch now as the guard gets out in front of Enroman as he comes around the corner. Raskin plays off the block very well again and does a good job bringing Enroman down. He picks up about 5. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 3 for the Red Raiders.
Line of scrimmage is the 37, just underway from here at Ryan Field in Derby. Again, they give it to the captain. He cuts it back. He has the first down as he crosses the 45 to about the 46.
Enroman is the bread and butter player. Again, number 77, Leatshoe, comes around the corner. You see Enroman with the football, and he finds a very big hole. Raskin this time can't play off. Chernovitz over to make the tackle, but it's a first down for the Derby Red Raiders at about their own 46-yard line.
Joe Litza, that right guard for the Raiders, 6'2", 230-pound sophomores. The Raiders have that first down, finding the hole. That's Bizzato, and Bizzato gets into Amity territory.
Fullback on the buck trap right up the middle. They're trapping that off guard in there. They block Gervasio with a double team and just pull, getting that fullback in there for big yardage. Another first down for the Red Raiders.
Quarterback is Tilkey. Tilkey starts the game for the Raiders. Wing T look for the Raiders. Robinson the wing to the right. Enroman inside the 40 as they work the same side of the Amity defense.
They're working over that left side. Raskin, Eric Johnson, and Brett Cox on that side. Again, the guard gets out. Leach gets out in front of Enroman. Enroman turns the corner. He gets help in there also. Beside Raskin, a number of other Amity players, but that is a big first down gain. It makes it 2nd and short for the Red Raiders, and they are keeping that quarterback out of difficult situations, and I know that's one thing that Charlie DeCenzo wants to do.
This time Enroman a wing to the right as they give it to Bizzato, and Bizzato is hammered after a pickup of 2 as he gets down to the 32-yard line. Bob Marlowe from the linebacker spot on the tackle.
Marlowe is just going to stand up the ball carrier as he comes in. Watch this tackle. He just puts his number on his number for short gain for the fullback, Bizzato, but he stopped short of that first down yardage. It makes it 3rd and short here as you look across the Amity line of scrimmage into that Derby backfield.
The Raiders have kept it all on the ground, kept it basic. They give again to Bazzato. I believe he spun for the first down to the 30-yard line before he's wrapped up there.
Brought down by number 42, Brad Cox.
Cox, the tackler for Amity.
Just a straight ahead play. Derby's trying to get first down yardage. The line just drives straight off. Pretty good tackle there by number 67 for the Amity Red Raiders. That's Steve Burdick playing defensive end. Came in for Raskin on that one. But it's a first down for the Raiders as they move down inside that 30-yard line.
First down for the Raiders at the 30 of Amity. And Roman spins his way past the 30, inside the 30 to the 28. Stopped there by Cox.
Cox got a piece of him in the backfield, and Roman is able to make a yard out of this. Watch Brett Cox. He's on a stunt, number 42. He'll get a piece of Van Roman right here as he dives for him. And Roman loses his balance, knocked down by Marlowe and company. Picks up about a yard. It's 2nd and 9.
Tremarchi out to the left side. Tony Tremarchi, the sophomore, split backs, wing T look for the Raiders in 2nd and long from inside the 30. On a rollout, that's Tilkey. And Tilkey down to the 25 on the far side of the field. Watson coming up from the secondary to make the tackle.
They'll come with the bootleg. Both guards are going to get out in front of Tilkey as he rolls to his left. A lot of open room. He'll put the ball down, pick up about 5 yards. Excellent game by the quarterback. You should see number 82 chasing from behind. That's sophomore Mark Singo.
So a march that started back just outside the Raider 30-yard line has consumed about 5 minutes of this first quarter as we open up the season. And Roman tries to spin outside. Cox on a fantastic defensive play, stopping the play for a loss. And it'll bring up a 4th down situation for Derby.
Cox is going to come again on a scrape. He gets outside. He'll get into this sweep pattern. The 2 guards do not pick him up. Right here, Cox will come in. Great tackle, and Derby is now in a 4th and long situation as they'll take a timeout to talk over this 4th down play.
And with that timeout, we'll take our own timeout.
Over the last 10 years, we've all learned some hard lessons about the value of money. We've discovered who we trust and who we want to do business with. Housatonic Lumber has been in business for nearly 90 years, and we have the real experts who can help you with your remodeling projects right through to your own dream home. So you can make a choice. You can do business with a warehouse chain who gives their employees a 6-week crash course in building materials, or you can do business with Housatonic Lumber. We've dedicated generations to this business.
Weapons used in the world in the last 40 years, none had more power than this one.
Welcome back, everyone. Earlier, Buddy had a chance to talk with head football coach Charlie DeCenzo of the Raiders, and he asked the veteran Derby coach, besides a victory here this evening, what would satisfy Coach DeCenzo at the end of this football game?
But I think the only thing we're looking for tonight is some consistency. You know, we're just looking to control the ball a little bit, move the football, you know, pick up the first downs when we should. Defensively, we've got to go away from giving up the big plays. In our scrimmages, we play good defense, and then all of a sudden, bang, we give up a 40-yard run or a long pass, something like that. Those are the things with a young team, you battle, that inconsistency. And that, if we can clean that up, and I think we'll be in good shape.
We're back, everyone. Consistency is the name of the game, and the Red Raiders are a little bit inconsistent in the scrimmages. Thus far, though, in their first march of the season, a sustained drive. It stalled somewhat. They've just taken a timeout. Football at the 28-yard line.
Spartans have got to be prepared right now for the screen pass or the bootleg. Those are the 2 plays that or the counter, but it'll be a misdirection type play, either screen counter or that bootleg for the Red Raiders.
4th down, 4th and 8 from the Amity 28. Tilkey throwing out to the right side. It's out of the hands of Massey, the wide receiver. Don't believe he had the yardage for the first down.
I think he's short about 5 yards even if he caught the football.
So the ball goes over to the Amity Spartans.
Quarterback drops. He will just throw the football on the out pattern. Not a bad throw. Receiver unable to pull it in, and the Spartans hold on their first defensive stand.
Let's take a look now at that Amity offense. Of course, in the backfield, a two-year starter, Brad Chernovitz at quarterback. And after that, a lot of young faces. First down, Amity has it. Their first crack with the football at the 28. They send Arminio in a slot to the right side. Single setback. And Chernovitz finds a seam and goes for 5 through the center of the line as he crosses the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Let's take...
This is an automatic. Brad Chernovitz will just tap the center if he feels that there's a soft middle, as he will go forward for pretty good yardage on that first down. Almost breaks it here. Able to dive forward, picks up about 6 yards in that, but that is something that the quarterback and center are worked on, and they will do that if Derby offers a soft middle.
Amity has a second and short now. Again, they send Arminio to a slot to the right side. Single setback, second down. Chernovitz wants to put it up. Looking, throwing, intercepted. That's Bazzato on the other end, and the Raiders have picked off the pass. Bazzato takes it down to the 31-yard line.
Very poor read by Brad Chernovitz. Now, that's a quick pass. He held it too long. The initial throw is very quick, doesn't get a good read by the safety, and then tries to step up, throws the interception, and it gives Derby the football back. One possession or one down for the Spartans, and the Red Raiders are back now, and they've got very good field position on their second possession here of this football game.
So the ball now resting at the Amity 32-yard line. We have a break in the action, and earlier Buddy caught up with head football coach Len Butch Marazzi of the Spartans, and he asked the sixth-year head football coach, besides a victory for Amity, what would satisfy Coach Marazzi at the conclusion of this football game?
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's the kickoff classic here, I think, for the Housatonic League. We're excited. We have 25 young people out here, sophomores playing. We're just looking forward to being here. It's a great atmosphere for football. I think there's going to be a good crowd, and as long as we play hard and try not to make a lot of mistakes, concentrate and focus, I think we'll come out of here feeling very good tonight.
We're back, everyone. 6:07 remaining here in the first quarter. Ryan Field under the lights. Personal foul against the Raiders. Raiders now have a 1st and 25. The football marked at the Amity 46-yard line. First quarter action.
Number 26, Dave Bazzato off the right side. Brought down by number 42, Brett Cox.
Brett Cox on the tackle for Amity. Second down, 24. Ball resting at the Amity 45. Derby's controlled the football most of this first quarter. Wing T looking. Roman is in that wing back position to the right. Tilke, the quarterback. Back to throw. Massey holds on to it. Down to the 35-yard line goes Massey. Stopped there by a trio of Spartans. Arminio, along with Bob Marlowe.
Edward, you and I didn't pick it up, but it's a 1st and 25 here. This penalty came after the ball was dead, so the Derby Raiders have a long way to go. Great throw here by the quarterback as he gets the ball out to the outside. Nice reception out there by Massey. Picks up about 14 yards. It'll make it a 2nd 14 for the Red Raiders.
Third down, 3rd and long, screened, and Roman. 30, 25, 20, near sideline, dodging tackles, 10-5, Derby touchdown. Captain Dave and Roman taking the screen pass from quarterback Steve Tilke and tiptoeing his way down the right sideline for the first score of the 1992 high school football season.
Defensive end here, Stephen Burdick, just comes as the quarterback rolls. He sells the screen very well and just throws the ball back to Ann Roman. This is a play that the Red Raiders have run for a lot of years, and Roman does a good job outrunning Bobby Marlowe right here. He gets by Brad Chernovitz down the sidelines, and he is into the end zone for the first touchdown of this 1992 high school football season.
The extra point attempt is going to be by Mike Potke. Potke to try the extra point. Kick is up, and Potke has converted. And Derby takes a quick 7-0 lead here at Ryan Field.
Ball is put down, held very well, and right through the middle by Potke as Mike Potke converts to give the Derby Red Raiders a 7-0 lead with 4:45 left to go in this first quarter.
So the Raiders dominating action here in the first quarter, eventually resulting in a screen pass from Tilkey, the sophomore, Steve Tilkey, to Enrollman. And Enrollman going in, that's a 3rd and long situation for Derby at that point, and Enrollman, fine bit of running and showing the experience of a veteran running back. Dave Enrollman has been playing football here at varsity level since his sophomore year. On our kickoff show, Dave Enrollman indicated that he wants to play that halfback position, and Derby's going to do everything in their power this year to get the ball in his hands as often as possible.
He obviously is a major offensive weapon, and the more times you get him the football, the more times you have of his possibility of him doing what he just did, breaking for a score.
Potgate kicks it off. That's Watson on the other end. Watson taken down outside the 20 at about the 22-yard line. Well, we didn't have a chance before to give you that Raider defense, and let's take a look right now at that Derby Red Raider defense. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line, and the Spartans their second possession. Under 5 minutes to go, we've got a whistle on the field. And indicating up here at the press box that they want some adjustment of the scoreboard clock here. First down, ball marked at the 22-yard line. Split backs for Coach Len Butch-Marazzi's team. And they give it into the line, a loose ball. Amity has held on to the football. Arminio was the ball carrier.
Just a straight ahead dive. You see the Spartans not really getting off the ball. Ball is going to come loose right out of the pile. You'll see it come down into the behind Raskin here. And then you're going to see number 12, Brad Chernovitz, cover this thing. Quarterback gets on top of it, preventing another turnover by the offensive Spartan unit.
Double tight end for Amity, handing out to the left side. Chernovitz looking in his direction. A pass is tipped and caught. It's a completion. Completion to number 85. That is Todd Raskin playing left tight end for Amity.
Raskin will just come off the line. Chernovitz will drop as he throws the football. It's going to be tipped. Raskin will able to get the piece of it, though. There you see the tip. Raskin is there, able to pick it up. And Amity gets a completion, but they are short of that first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 4.
Line of scrimmage is the 29. First quarter action, Telemedia Sports, or Valley High School football game of the week. Our first one for the 1992 high school football season. They're down. I-back formation. Chernovitz is snowed under on the play, but it might have been a busted play. He was looking to do something.
It wasn't. It was an option play, and Hay was right in the quarterback's face. You'll watch now as Chernovitz comes down the line, running the option. He's going to get drilled right here.
So he holds on to the football.
Throw the football away. Hay was right in his face. Somebody missed the block or an assignment on that, because that can't happen that quick. Derby with a great defensive scheme so far as they forced Amity into a turnover and now into a punting situation.
Cabral along with Enrollman back deep. Turiano will do the punting for Amity, and he gets it off. It's a fine punt. And we have another whistle on the play.
He's going to have touched his knee down on the 15-yard line, 14-yard line, so the Derby Red Raiders are going to catch a break, and that's a sophomore error. Enrollman kneeling, or excuse me, the punter kneeling down, Turiano, unable to get it off without kneeling, and the Derby Red Raiders now have a great opportunity on the 17-yard line of the Amity Spartans.
Well, we said coming into the football game, we have two young teams out here. Thus far, one team has been making the mistakes, and it's been Amity. They paid for it thus far. Enrollman, out of the wing T formation, gets it down to the 10-yard line. A major error for Amity. Turiano, the punter, touched his knee down to the turf. The ball was blown dead there. Second down coming up.
Again, you'll see what is called that 28 sweep with Enrollman coming around the corner. He's got both guards out in front of him that are doing an excellent job of blocking, and he picks up about 2 on that. Again, they are working that left side of the Amity defense very well so far tonight.
Second down, the football at the 10-yard line. Bazzato off the right side, Bazzato down to the 8-yard line. A nice individual tackle by Marlowe from his backer spot.
Brought down by number 21.
Bringing up a third down for the Raiders.
They're coming inside with that fullback. Keep Amity balanced. Again, they trap the nose and then come behind him.
Third down 6.
Bizzato comes behind that trap block. Marlowe does a good job coming in, closing it off. It's about a 3rd and 6 for the Red Raiders inside the 10-yard line.
Enrollment and Bizzato in the backfield. Guess who? That is Enrollment. Picks his way inside the 5-yard line as he makes a fine cutback. Believe he's going to come up short of the yardage for the first down. The first down yardage down at the 2. Atosha on the tackle.
Watch Enrollment as he turns the corner. He'll get hit, and then he will just keep driving forward. There's one tackle. There's another one as Atosha got a piece of him. And then Enrollment close to the goal line brings up a big, big 3rd down, and we've got a penalty here against the Red Raiders.
And that was a fine shot by our crack camera crew out here. Gary Peterson, the veteran sideline cameraman for Telemedia Sports. Nice shot. And the Raiders don't like what they've seen right now. They've been assessed another penalty. And this takes them back to the 24-yard line, a clipping penalty.
Spartans have got to be able to hold right here. They cannot let the Red Raiders get in on a 3rd and almost goal situation from the 30-yard line. But I'll tell you, they're going to run a screen or a bootleg, some kind of pass play, misdirection. Here comes the screen.
Tilke. Incomplete. He throws it out in the direction of, who is the eligible
intended receiver was Enrollment, and Tilke did a good job of seeing that Enrollment was covered. Raskin, who's in now, Todd Raskin just sits right in the back pocket of Enrollment. Good job by Johnson getting at the quarterback, and you see that quarterback does a great job, Steve Tilke, in just throwing the football away and not risking an interception.
So the Raiders are self-destructing here late in this first quarter. 35 seconds remaining. And this time the penalty will go, the flag will go in the direction of Amity, against Amity. So it's a pass interference call against the Spartans.
Can't be an interference because the ball was uncatchable and it was thrown behind the line.
The penalty is pass interference against the Spartans.
The ball was thrown uncatchable out of bounds. It's very difficult to call a pass interference on something like that. It will give them a first down, though, or 15 yards, which would be half the distance. It'll take them to the 10, and it'll give them that 3rd down again and a first down. So that's an automatic first down, and that's a major error by the Spartans, as again they give the Derby Red Raiders 4 cracks from inside that 15 and around the 12-yard line. And you see Coach Marazzi very, very perplexed about that call at that point in this football game.
Well, the scoreboard clock has first down on the scoreboard. Let's pick up the play in the meantime. That's Bizzato taking the football down to the 10 on the far side of the line. The down marker said the 3rd down, but I believe they're going to correct it right now. That was a first down play. That's
This
Bizzato.
is a nice trap play. They try and get Bizzato out on the trap. Brett Cox does a good job closing it off as they try and come off tackle with the power, leading with the guards who are doing a great job for the Red Raiders in opening that hole up.
Massey goes out to the left side. It is a 2nd down. The Raiders have it at the 10 of Amity. That's Bizzato banging his way inside the 5-yard line down to the 2 on a quick hitter off the left side. And the scoreboard clock has shown the time has run down here in the first quarter. And that is the end of the first quarter here at Ryan Field in Derby. Our score is Derby 7 and Amity nothing.
Hot Tops in Seymour are your #1 custom printing professionals. Our automated textile printer can handle any size order quickly and beautifully. Artwork can be reproduced or designed for you in our graphic art department. Add in-house embroidering and see why Hot Tops is #1. After 12 years in business, Hot Tops offers the best in quality printing and personal service. Just listen to our customers.
Very professional.
Excellent quality.
Hot Tops did exactly what I wanted and delivered it on time.
Being a teenager isn't what it used to be.
Gone are the days of sock hops and soda shops. Today's teenagers have a lot more to worry about than they used to.
Now there's a TV show that explores these concerns from a teenager's point of view.
It's called On the One, and it's on Telemedia's Cable 10.
So if your biggest concern is what you're going to wear to school tomorrow, then maybe you should watch On the One.
But if your concerns run a little bit deeper,
then you should definitely watch.
Watch On the One this fall on Cable 10.
We're back here at Ryan Field in Derby, and we are set for second quarter action. And Derby is knocking on the door for a second score here. Raiders have it at the 2-yard line, and they can pick up conceivably a first down. They have a third down coming up, ball at about the 2.5, and they have to get down to about the 1.5 for a first down. Raiders have picked up that touchdown in the first quarter. Pass from sophomore quarterback Steve Tilkey to Dave and Roman. Potke converted, and that's where we stand. And as the Raiders look to up their margin, and this first play from scrimmage in the second quarter. Housatonic League matchup, and both teams getting a head start on the football season, and a rare Thursday evening football game. Full house backfield, that is Bozzato off the left side.
Should have enough yardage for that first down, and they're going to make it a 1st and goal as he just went straight ahead. Billy Riccio signals that first down. It'll make it 1st and goal for the Red Raiders, and the Spartans have put themselves in this predicament. That penalty, pass interference on a 3rd and 30 really has put them in a precarious position here, and they're about to go down by 2 touchdowns to the Red Raiders early in this second quarter.
Full house backfield. They try Bozzato, and the senior Bozzato into the end zone for the second Derby score. Raiders lead it 13-0.
You'll see just a straight ahead handoff with Roman leading, and he will get into the end zone. Really, it is a big hole there as he is in for the second touchdown. It gives Derby a 13-0 lead with only 11:35, or actually 11:35 left in this second quarter, 25 seconds into this second period. The Red Raiders are up 14-0.
Potke's kick is wide of the mark, but Derby leads it. Early going in the second quarter, lead it by a score of 13-0.
I thought that one went through, Edward. It's 13. I thought that was a pretty good kick as it missed wide to the right, and the Red Raiders now have really done what Charlie DeCenzo wanted to do and what Butch Marazzi was afraid of. They've gotten out of the gate very quickly. They've taken advantage of some early mistakes by Amity. Amity has put themselves in the position of being down now 13-0. 11:35 left to go in this second quarter, and it's going to be interesting to see now how the young Amity team reacts to being here in Derby. A very good crowd. The first game of the year, a lot of eyes are focused on them, how they're going to react to being down 13-0 early in this game.
Back deep for Amity is Chris Watson along with Steve Atosha. And Potke will be kicking it off. Kick sailing to Atosha. Atosha with the football, the junior. Gets the ball across the 25-yard line to about the 27-yard line. Jamal Baskins, the tackler for the Derby Red Raiders. Let's see what Amity does with the football. They better do something positive and rather soon. Derby leads at 13-0.
Amity has the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. 1st and 10.
Out to the right side is Dave Antonetti. And split backfield, and now Arminio, the slot to the right side. A single setback. And there might be an encroachment call coming up against the Derby Red Raiders, which will bring up a 1st and 5. Let's await the call.
You're going to see for Derby right at the top of your picture there, you see the nose guard, and he just goes off sides without question. And it'll give, as Eddie said, a 1st and 5 for Amity. As they're going to move Cox off the line, he'll drop. They're going to go into a trips formation to this side.
1st and 5. Chernovitz pumps once, pulls it down, still looking to throw the football short of the mark. As he was pressured, he tried to get it off to Cox.
There is absolutely very little blocking along the offensive line of scrimmage. You see Chernovitz comes back. There's going to be a Derby guy right in his face right there, number 82, who's right in on that.
McManus.
And then he'll try and turn up and doesn't do a good job of getting the ball down to Cox as he's kind of running for his life. But Amity has got to straighten up their offensive blocking schemes, and they've got to give them a little bit of time, or Amity is going to have some offensive problems.
2nd and 5 for the Spartans, second quarter action. Chernovitz, straight handoff to sophomore in there at fullback, Art Carter, 5'10", 160 pounds, sophomore.
And there's going to be a face mask against Carter. And again, the Derby Red Raiders are making similar mistakes as the Spartans. You see just the belly handoff from Chernovitz to Carter. Carter, as he goes through, you're going to see right there's that hand right on the face mask. And it is going to be a 15-yarder for the Amity Spartans, as they best friend so far has been Derby mistakes on offense.
Both teams continuing in our theme, very, very young for this football season and making an awful lot of mistakes. And you heard both coaches talk in our interviews about the need for consistency.
Derby has been able to be very consistent on offense, though, and that's been the difference so far. They've been able to put two pretty good drives together to get their 13 points.
Antonetti out to the left side, out to the top of your screen, and that is Carter running the football, and he's going nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Saylor coming up from his backer spot to make the initial hit.
Straight ahead block. You see Derby doing a real good job of standing people up there. That's George Hayes standing up, number 85, Todd Raskin. Carter picks up a yard, but this offense has got to be able to produce more than a yard or two each time they take the football. Amity right around midfield here. They've got a 2nd and long, and this is a throw situation for the Spartan.
I-back formation. Wide receiver out to the right side on 2nd and long from midfield. And the senior quarterback back to throw. Lofts it out. A fine touch pass and a completion to Cox down at the 42-yard line of Derby. Close to a first down.
Cox will do an out. Chernovitz gets the ball to him. As Eddie said, he gets the ball up and over some defenders. Pretty good rush put on by number 82, McManus. See the ball coming out and down. Great catch by Brett Cox. He's very close to that first down. It'll pick up. They may get a measure on this. It's going to be either 3rd and very short, or he will have that first down. Good completion and catch from Chernovitz to Cox.
What I like to think about is when I see Cox, the great concentration of a good receiver. And they're going to measure it as they bring the chains from across the field to the near sidelines. Telemedia Sports, or Cable 10, our Valley High School football game of the week, and you see Billy Riccio there indicating it's just a matter of inches. Amity has come up shy of that first down. Thus far, this has been the most positive development for Amity in the football game, this particular drive.
They're a young football team offensively, and they've got to get some positive things to gain that confidence. They need a drive. They need to get some success here. That first interception certainly was a tough play, and then that pass interference put their defense in a difficult position. It's tough to stop a guy inside the 12-yard line. I don't care how good your defense is. So that first drive and then the interception and that penalty has given the Spartans that 13-0 deficit.
3rd and inches.
They did not make it.
They do not make it is right.
They did not make it.
They gave it to the tailback, Arminio, and he was not up to it. Tackled as a matter of fact for a slight loss on the play.
When your offense cannot produce an inch, you've got some difficulties here. Out of a power set, they send the guy straight in, and Derby is just all over that. As Amity is going to go for it, I wouldn't be surprised to see a quarterback sneak here.
Let me make the correction. Atoshia was the ball carrier in the last play. 4th and about 2 feet for the first down.
And that's the 3rd mistake by that young man for Derby. He's a senior, and he has been offsides twice. He had that 15-yard holding penalty, and it's going to give the Spartans an easy first down here. As you see, there's no question. He is into that Amity backfield.
So the Amity Spartans have picked up that first down. Dimitri Anufriavis.
I'm glad you went first, because I'm going to call Dimitri just plain old Dimitri. Anufriavis offside. Gives Amity that first.
First down for Amity. Chernovitz looking to throw, rolling. Backside pressure from McManus. Now running the football, now throwing it and completing it.
Raskin is going to drop that one, and that one is ridiculous for a receiver. Chernovitz rolled to the outside, and Raskin just looked it through his stomach and onto the turf. Big play for Amity, and they just cannot get a break here as Chernovitz rolls outside. You'll see him break contain. He gets outside as he outruns number 82, McManus, and hey, he will just drop the ball over the defense, and Raskin is just going to let it go right through his arms.
He tried to run with the football before he had it. He looked it in. So
there's an old expression, all he had was green grass and white lines in front of him to the end zone. He just did not look it in, catch, and tuck that football.
Basic. So it goes as an incompleted pass.
Toddy Raskin last year was out with a shoulder injury. He did not play. He got hurt in one of the early scrimmages. They're expecting an awful lot from this young man on offense and defense, and he's worked very hard at catching the football, and I know he has to be very disappointed at that one himself. They may give Raskin credit on the catch here. I think they are. They're going to give Raskin credit, and he is going to have the first down and a catch.
So now they rule it a completion. Coach DeCenzo was out in the field to try to get an explanation. Meanwhile, we have a first down, and it's inside the 18-yard line. It's inside the 20 at the 18, and Amity knocking on the door. Derby leads at 13-0. Second quarter action here at Ryan Field in Derby. Under the lights, a fine crowd here as we have our own kickoff classic here at Ryan Field, the first area football game of the 1992 season. I-back formation for Amity and first down at the 18. And Chernovitz taking it himself. Gets a couple on the play.
Again, that soft middle, and Brad is hurt as he was hit pretty good by Derby. Looks like he lost his wind on that one, but he's going to take that very early, or that soft middle if he can. This time the Red Raiders are there. As he goes forward, he's going to get popped pretty good. He'll pick up a couple, but it'll bring up a second and about 8 for Derby as Amity will take a timeout here. 7:59 left to go, Edward, in this first half.
And our score is Derby 13, Amity nothing, and let's take this timeout.
No job is too big or too small for Chippy's Service Station. We do all major and minor repairs and mechanical work for foreign and domestic vehicles. And we offer 24-hour long and short-distance towing. When you have difficulty finding parts, when your new car needs servicing, or when your business really depends on it, come to Chippy's Service Station, 136 Wakely Avenue, Ansonia, 734-9648, servicing the Valley since 1949.
When friends don't stop friends from drinking and driving. Friends die from drinking and driving. Friends die from drinking and... Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
We're back, everyone. Amity has the football deep in Derby territory. They've got a second down, and the football is at the 16. High back formation. Derby leads at 13-0. There's the pitch. That's Arminio. Down to the 15. He cuts it back in and gets it close to the 10-yard line before he's stopped by Angelo Daruba, 5'10", 190-pound junior linebacker.
Chernovitz will come out on the lead option. He doesn't have a lot of time. This time he's able to get the ball off before Potke gets a pop on him, along with McManus. Good run that time as Arminio gets down close to the first down. It'll still be a 3rd and long, but the Spartans pick up positive yardage on that. Good call from that offensive group as they ran that lead successfully for the first time.
Out to the left side goes Jim Hannon. Out of your picture now on 3rd down. A football resting just outside the 10. They give it to the sophomore running back. That's Carter. Carter is stopped and snowed under. Maybe he didn't even get to the line of scrimmage. Art Carter.
Art Carter, up the middle, brought down by a host of Derby tacklers.
I think you're going to see the Spartans with a field goal here is the belly play off tackle to the left as Carter tries to get through. Number 87, George Hay, is just waiting for him. Again, the Amity Spartan offensive line is not creating blocking area. They're not staying on their blocks as Hay really came clean through on Carter. Stop for no gain, and you're going to see Bobby Terriano with a field goal attempt from, it looks like, the 20-yard line, which will make it a 30-yard field goal.
Bob Terriano came on during the season last year. He was brought up from the freshman team when Amity had a problem with the kicking game, and a lot of fine things are expected from the sophomore. And Terriano has put the first points on the board in the 1992 season for Coach Butch Marazzi's team. Bob Terriano.
Good snap to hold by the receiver, David Antonetti, and Bobby Terriano splits the uprights. He got a good ricochet there as the ball hit that upper left side of the pole and kicked in, but it puts Amity on the board. And the Spartans, I think, have to feel pretty good as they go over to that sideline. Offensively, they had a pretty good drive there. It was helped by some mistakes by the Derby Red Raiders, as the Derby Red Raider offensive drive was helped by some Spartan mistakes. So as Eddie has reiterated and I during the night, it's young football players making mistakes, but they're making aggressive mistakes, and you're going to see two guys or two teams get better as the game goes on, as they gain some confidence and some experience on the varsity level.
So Amity has gotten on the scoreboard, and Derby leads it now by a score of 13-3. Terriano will be doing the kicking off back deep for Derby, and Roman and Cabral. Cabral, a promising sophomore for Derby. He has looked very good in the scrimmages, in the preseason scrimmages. Baskins fumbles the ball, ending up with it is in Roman, and then Roman gets it across the 30-yard line to about the 31, where the Derby Red Raiders will take over once again with a 10-point lead.
Key series here for the Spartans with 6 minutes left to go in this first half. They cannot afford to let the Derby Red Raiders mount an offensive drive and get in the end zone.
Well, we talked about the rotation system for the Derby team, and out there ready to quarterback for Derby, his first action in the regular season is sophomore Chris Ruther, 5'10", 162-pound sophomore. Chris, the bigger and stronger of the two quarterbacks. Of course, Steve, the quicker one. Chris, we understand from Coach Charlie DeCenzo, with the stronger arm.
Maybe now a point in time where Coach DeCenzo wants to get the football in the air a little bit more than he has with Steve Telke, but Steve did a great job in his 3 series with the football, produced 13 points, and now Ruther has an opportunity to show what he can do.
Wing back set, that is in Roman. Cutting it back in at the 45 and advancing it up to the 48 before he's taken down there by little John Arminio.
Great run as David Ann Roman comes around the near side toward the Derby bench. Again, they're running this sweep to death. They've got some good power in their guards. As the guards get out in front of it, watch Ann Roman cut back to the center of the field right here as he just avoids an arm tackle. And that was not a very good effort by number 82, Mark Singo. And he gets a big first down for the Raiders.
Give it to the fullback. That's Bozzato. And Bozzato gets it to midfield.
Bozzato lost his footing, or he might still be running on that. Brett Cox was there, but Bozzato came through and really slipped on the turf as he was cutting off with a block of the guard. And I think that's the Roba who was leading through, trying to create that seam.
So it's a second down, 2nd and 8. The football resting at the Derby 49-yard line. Out to the left side, the bottom of your screen, is the Southmore Tremarky, Tony Tremarky. And they try the tri-captain. That's Dave Ann Roman, but his block's a little bit slow in front of him. Bob Marlowe on the play for Amity.
Marlowe did a good job coming through that time and closing that outside seam as Ann Roman is trying to get into that between the off tackle and the sideline area on that sweep play. Marlowe closed it down very well. It's a 3rd and long.
3rd down, we'll have another stoppage of play. And now as we resume the clock. 3rd down. Wing T look. That's Bozzato. And Bozzato trying to drive the legs and churn for some more yardage as he gets into Amity territory down at about the 46-yard line. It'll be a 4th down play.
Bozzato goes for that tough yardage inside. He's been doing a good job. Number 26 gets in there. Cox will come over and get a piece of him from his linebacking position. It'll create a 4th down for the Red Raiders. It looks as if they are going to punt for the first time in the football game.
So that kicking unit, the special teams, is on for Coach DeCenzo's team. And doing the punting will be Potke. Potke will be standing at his 40-yard line. Back deep, single safety is Brad Chernovitz. And he's just going to let the ball roll, and it's going to roll inside the 10, inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. And Derby has pinned Amity deep.
Excellent punt by Mike Potke as he dropped the ball inside the 5. It'll put the Spartans with their backs to the wall, and their offense is going to have to move that football out a little bit in order for their punter to have some room if they can't mount an offensive drive here, try and kill some time and keep Derby from getting that football with good field position and enough time on that clock to try and get another score.
And the problem for Amity, at least in the early part of the season, will be the fact that they're going to really need to do a lot through the air because they don't have the experienced running backs. They don't have the big running backs. And
they don't have that offensive line yet that is going to really knock people back off the football. And so throwing is going to be a big part. But down here, you don't want to throw.
Not if you can help it. Carter is the fullback and Arminio the I-back. And the senior puts it in the air on 1st down on a fly pattern. It is incomplete. A lot of guts on the play for Chernovitz to throw it out. It's incomplete. 84, Antonetti, the intended receiver.
Brad is going to get back, and he just sits here and just will let it fly. It is overthrown. The outside receiver, David Antonetti, pretty good coverage, but Antonetti just unable to get it as it's out. His outstretched hands over his fingers or his outstretched fingertips, and it'll bring up a 2nd down for the Spartans here. Backed up inside their 5. 2:58 left to go here in this first half.
Bozzato was on the defensive coverage for Derby. 2nd down, 2nd and 10 from the 4. And again, Chernovitz in his own end zone, flings it out again, has a receiver out there. It's incomplete, and it was intended this time for Hannon. So Amity now, buddy, with the incompletions, of course, are going to,
stopping the clock,
and we're going to
Coach
give Derby.
Marazzi is taking a shot here that they can get a big play here as Chernovitz again unloads it. He outthrows his receiver, his hand, and just unable to come up with it again. As he went into the sidelines, it'll bring up a big 3rd down here for the Spartans, and they've got to get a little room here so that Terriano can punt the football.
Well, they're going to be in a big hole here because Terriano, unless they do something real positive on this down, is going to be punting from well within his end zone. 3rd down on the 4. I-back formation. And again, Chernovitz throwing on the other side of the field. Throws it out to his tight end. It's ruled an incompleted pass. Cox came back. The pass was thrown incomplete, and Amity is faced with a 4th and 10. They have it at their 4 deep into the second quarter.
This is going to be a screen pass to the tight end. Turners will get the ball off. Cox just doesn't look it in. There's no reason not to catch this one. Probably he's better off not coming up with it, but he just doesn't look it in also. The receivers are just not looking the football in. For a team that wants to throw the football, that can be a major problem if your receivers just don't look it in.
Turiano is deep in his end zone, and he does get it off. And Roman on the other end at the 40, the 35, the 30. Has a wall.
All the way.
20, 10, one defender to beat, and he dives in for the score. Dave and Roman on a 40-yard punt return for the 3rd Derby score.
And Roman just takes this kick now. Turiano does a good job in getting it off. They're probably in a tight punt, so they cannot get downfield very quickly. As you see, the Spartans are late getting off the line. And Roman takes the ball at the 40 and does a good job right here just getting to the wall. Once he gets here, it's just a foot race. And Roman outdistanced the last guy, Bobby Turiano, just leaves him there as Turiano gets him going into the end zone. But a great run by David and Roman, and that is a big play as we come close to the end of this first half as the Red Raiders now with a 19-3 advantage on the Amity Spartans. Derby had to take a timeout. I don't think they either had the tee or they're sure as to whether they want to go for 2 points on this play. Charlie DeCenzo in the middle of his offensive unit. My guess is that they'll go for the 2, having missed that extra point. It'll give them a 21-point score here in the first half. As I think you can hear in the background, they're going to go for 2. Derby has looked very good on offense and real good on defense. They've done a great job, and they're very well prepared for this first football game. Their young people have rose to the occasion, and Coach DeCenzo, I think, has to be very pleased with the first half of football from his young men.
Well, apparently Derby is going to be going for the extra point because Mike Potke is in, and holding will be in Roman. There's a high snap from center. The placement is down, and Potke has added the 20th point for Derby.
With 2:25 to go in the first half, the score is Derby 20, Amity 3.
So thus far it's been all Derby. Derby capitalizing on numerous Amity mistakes. 20-3 our score. We're at 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the first half. Just our first game of telemedia coverage for this 1992 high school football season. Glad you can join us.
We've got some great games to look forward to. Next week, we've got a big one between the Ansonia Chargers and the Shelton Gales, an early game of this season, which will give us a look at both football teams who
and I think the story
think that they're going to be pretty good.
Storyline going into that football game, that's the battle of the running backs. The two of the best running backs in the state of the Connecticut. John Eason for Shelton and Jason Tinney for Ansonia.
Could be a road race next Friday night at
Shelton Stadium.
Field.
In your picture a moment ago, that was Steve Atosha, one of the deep men for Amity. Potke will be kicking it off, and Derby in command of this football game. And the junior gets it end over end, and that is in the direction of Watson. And Chris Watson behind the wedge in front of him.
That's a great individual effort by that young man, Chris Watson, a junior, 5'8", 145-pounder, and he's going to get 15 tacked on for a face mask as he came out of the pile a couple of times, almost broke it as you see Billy Riccio signal a face mask penalty. It'll put Amity close to midfield with their possession here as they've got 2 minutes and 11 seconds. There's plenty of time for a throwing football team. Watch Watson come out of the pile a couple of times as he will get the football, come up the field, gets into the wedge, and then he'll break out of the wedge. As no one can pull him down, you see 25 still keeps his legs going. He gets outside, and then pretty good job there by number 57 as he grabs him, DeRoba. And then there's the face mask on Watson, Watson still doesn't go down. A great individual effort by Chris Watson, and maybe that'll fire up that Spartan offensive unit.
Well, I thought the young man was down in the pack there, apparently not as he escaped. And Amity has some excellent field position at the 47, but their problem is they've got 2 minutes and 1 tick left here in the first half. Chernovitz back to throw, tucks it in, running the football, midfield, 45, 40, and he's going to go for the out-of-bounds marker. A smart play, stopping the play as Brad takes it down to about the 35 of Derby.
Chernovitz scrambles up the middle for the Amity first down.
He's not getting up on the sidelines either. As he went out of bounds, he went into the fence. You'll see him pull the ball down as he goes back, fakes pretty good pressure on him, and he just scrambles. He tucks the football away, and he will go out of bounds after a first down. We'll see what happens as he goes to the sidelines. He gets pushed there, and he goes down pretty hard into some equipment on the sidelines. And I don't know whether that's him coming. That's him coming back into the huddle, so it'll be a first down for the Spartans. And you parents know that as a parent, you got your kids out there playing, you take some deep breaths when he doesn't get up.
First down for Amity at the Derby 38. 2 wide receivers out to the right side. Single setback. Under 2 minutes to go. Chernovitz
steps up pretty well that time.
And still looking to throw the ball and gets it off as his receiver comes back for the ball. It is a completed pass. Is that Cox? Brett Cox, I believe, on the other end. Brett Cox, what a fine bit of athletic ability. Chernovitz stepped up in the pocket, took a couple of hits, threw the ball as on his way down, and Amity is fired up as he gets it down to his tri-captain, fellow tri-captain Brett Cox, and Amity has the first down inside the Derby 20.
This is one of the things that obviously Amity can do. They can throw the football. Brad Chernovitz can get the ball down the field. He's got to have a little time to be able to do that, but he is able to throw, and they've got some kids that can catch. Watch now as he just drops back. He's going to get real good pressure. Derby puts good pressure on him. He stays in the pocket, makes a fake here, steps up and avoids some contact right here, and then really, as he's going down, he just gets the ball out to Cox. Cox comes back, makes a great catch. Good individual effort on the part of both young men. Charlie DeCenzo wants to know whether Chernovitz was in the grasp going down. He's got a good argument there because really Brad was in the hands of the Derby tackler, DeRobo, who was pulling him to the ground. He's able to get it off. There's 1:33 left to go, and Amity is back knocking on the door. They have put a pretty good drive together after that 15-yard face mask penalty on the kickoff. They have been able to march down the field to the 20-yard line. As you see, Coach DeCenzo has a valid point there, as you saw in the replay. Chernovitz was wrapped as he was throwing the football. He got it off. He was not considered down, and it will make up a first down.
So the ball is marked at the 19-yard line. We've got 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. From Ryan Field in Derby, under the lights, as we initiate our high school football season. Telemedia Sports, Cable 10.
At the Derby 19-yard line.
The center is Mark Swerdling, 5'9", 200-pound junior. Wide receiver, 84, Antonetti. Out of your picture, out to the right side. A slot back is Hannon. And Chernovitz looking to throw. Throws it underneath. That's complete. That's Cox with the football. And Cox is taken down by enrollment inside the 10-yard line.
Again, just a nice throw. Cox coming out of the tight end position. They've got 2 wide receivers outside. You see Cox just come off the line. He gets into the flat. Pretty good job of blocking as Chernovitz got time. He hits Cox right in the numbers. Cox will just turn it up the field, picks up yardage close to that, inside that 10-yard line. Is a good block there by Jimmy Hannon, number 80 also. And Billy Ricchio's talking. And Derby is going to get an unsportsmanlike, and that's going to move it down inside the 5, very close to that goal line, as that's something I have not seen, and believe me, for Charlie DeCenzo to be upset, there's got to be some reason, as he is still arguing the call, but it is going to be a penalty against the Derby Red Raiders, and Coach DeCenzo is livid.
The ball will be brought inside the 5-yard line as you see the discussion going on right now.
He is arguing the formation. What he's saying is that Amity had a man on the line of scrimmage and he had covered the tight end, that the outside man had covered the tight end. He should be considered ineligible. And he may have a valid point. Until we go back to the replay, we can't say. But Amity did have 3 wideouts. If that outside guy was on the line of scrimmage, it would make Cox ineligible. Let's see if we can pick it up. See Cox on line, you see the other guy back. We can't see the wide guy who was on the Derby sideline, whether he was on or off the line. But that's what Chowie DeCenzo was arguing.
Because once again, if that wide receiver, again, that we did not pick up on the cameras, if he was on the line of scrimmage,
Cox would be ineligible. And Derby probably was not covering him, and that's why Cox was so wide open.
Meanwhile, it's a first down as Amity goes to the bone on a goal line situation. Chernovitz for the touchdown, and the 6 points to Cox. So we have a football game as Amity has answered back from a 20-3 deficit.
This is a fake little bit of power. Chernovitz will come off of UCN Roman right on Brad Chernovitz, and he does a pretty good job of getting the ball out to number 42, Brett Cox, as he was being taken to the turf by David Ann Roman. The Spartans have answered with a very quick score in less than 1 minute and 10 seconds as Chernovitz hits Cox for the 3-yard touchdown.
And I got to think this is a huge emotional lift for Amity. Down 20-3, they answer back before the half. And Turiano just snakes the ball across the crossbar for the extra point. And Coach Marazzi has got to be feeling a lot better at this point. Our score is now Derby 20 and Amity 10, as Derby's lead is halved.
Pretty good drive, and you know, as a father, and I hope you people know my son is Brad Chernovitz, but he did a pretty good job. I try and stay as neutral as possible, but he did a pretty good job leading him down the field. Brett Cox with some key receptions, and the Spartans able to get on the board. It obviously, as Eddie said, has to be a big lift for the Amity football team, as that was a drive that they were able to mount after the punt return of David Ann Roman, 40 yards, which really kind of could have been a nail in the coffin early in this first half. They answered back. It'll be interesting now to see what Derby decides to do. There's still 1 minute and 15 on the clock, and they have the ability to move the football also. David Ann Roman, anytime he touches it, is capable of going the distance. So the Spartans are not in the locker room yet at 20-10, and I know they'd like to get in there 20-10. The Red Raiders would like to do some more damage offensively, and you'll see now with field position what they are able to do.
Again, out of your camera view right now, but Coach DeCenzo is talking with the referee, Billy Riccio, and there you see there, Coach DeCenzo trying to explain the situation. And
set to kick off for Amity, number 12, Brad Chernovitz.
And we'll resume play right now. We've got under a minute to go. No, check that. 1 minute and 15 ticks left to go in an extremely long first half.
Brad Chernovitz is going to kick off.
What's this all about? Well, it's an onside kick. That's what it's all about. It's fielded there by one of the up men for Derby. And 82, that's McManus. And McManus brings it up to his 49-yard line. So Derby has
I think the reason he kicked off is that Terriano is hurt. He's had an injury. As you see, Brad Chernovitz just kicked the ball. Just tries to get the ball downfield. Terriano is the #1 kicker. Good job by the Derby football team in grabbing it. That looks like McManus. McManus takes the ball and does a good job getting it to midfield. We're under 1 minute to go here with the Red Raiders as they are ready to snap.
Well, I say they don't sit on the ball. They have the passing quarterback in there. They give it to Enrollment, and Enrollment down to the 45-yard line, and immediately Derby calls for a timeout. 20-10 is our score. Derby over Amity. Telemedia Sports, our Valley High School football game of the week, our first one of the season. And
I saw Coach DeCenzo signal for a timeout. Derby did not take it. They are back on the ball. We're under 20 seconds to go here.
Second down at the Amity 45. Ruther looking out to the left side. Now a fly pattern downfield in the direction of Massey. It is incomplete. Double coverage by Amity. It's Watson along with Chernovitz.
As you see Massey coming back in your picture, he just went straight down the field. Ruther just tries to get the ball out to the receiver. You see Watson in good coverage. He's behind him. He's playing zone, and Chernovitz comes over to help out. Derby will take a timeout. There are 11 seconds left to go here in this first half.
Our score is Derby 20 and Amity 10. Gives me an opportunity to say that today's coverage of the high school football game of the week is a presentation of Cable 10 Sports Telemedia of Western Connecticut. It's intended solely for the viewing enjoyment of telemedia subscribers. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Telemedia of Western Connecticut is prohibited. New feature coming up in our third quarter. It's going to be Playbook. And we hope that you, the viewers out there, and our subscribers will enjoy it. Playbook coming up in the third quarter of play here and in every Valley High School football game. Bazzato at the 30-yard line. Dave Bazzato down to the 20-yard line. Found the seam. Was taken down there, and Derby quickly on the ball. 3 ticks left, and let's see if they can get off another play. The ball at the 21, an awful lot of action, jammed into the final 2 minutes. Ruther just throws it out of bounds, stopping the clock. Did he? Is there still a tick left?
Scoreboard
No,
shows no time. We're going in at halftime here. Derby, a great drive. They obviously didn't have many timeouts, but took the ball down to the 20 as we bring it into this first half.
We have played one half of football, our first half for the 1992 football season. Our score is Derby 20 and Amity 10. We'll be back with our halftime activities right after these words.
Welcome to Curtis Ryan Honda. Did you know that our sales staff has been with us over an average of 10 years?
And our service technicians for over 7 years.
Did you know that Curtis Ryan in Shelton is the first Honda dealership ever in the state of Connecticut?
We also provide car care clinics because an informed customer is a satisfied customer.
And all this makes us Honda's #1 volume dealership in Southern Connecticut.
So come to the house that's service built.
We are the Honda experts, and you don't deserve anything less.
Turn on your breakfast. Turn it on. Turn on your day. You're the one that's gonna make it. Look at your work. Look at your play. Be your best every day. Have fun. Just do it your way. Turn it on. Turn on the breakfast. Turn it on. Now don't you know? You're the one that's gonna make it. Look at your move. Look at your go. Turn it on.
We're back here at halftime at Derby's Ryan Field, and these are the Derby High School Pom Pom Girls. Those were the Derby High School pom-pom girls at halftime at Ryan Field. Our score is Derby 20 and Amity 10. Back with the second half kickoff right after these messages.
Who is Connecticut's leading discount plumbing supplier? Allen's Plumbing Supply of Seymour.
It's simple. Allen's Plumbing Supply costs less. That's right, you'll find incredibly low discount prices every day. And when you want free advice on plumbing, heating, kitchen, or bath remodeling, Allen's has Connecticut licensed plumbers on our staff to help you. The best price and free advice. Allen's Plumbing Supply, Route 67, Seymour. It's simple. Allen's costs less. Period.
Being a teenager isn't what it used to be.
Gone are the days of sock hops and soda shops. Today's teenagers have a lot more to worry about than they used to.
Now there's a TV show that explores these concerns from a teenager's point of view.
It's called On the One, and it's on Telemedia's Cable 10.
So if your biggest concern is what you're going to wear to school tomorrow, then maybe you should watch On the One.
But if your concerns run a little bit deeper,
then you should definitely watch.
Watch On the One this fall on Cable 10.
Welcome back, everyone. We're moments away from the second half kickoff here at Ryan Field, and with the first half scoring summary is Buddy Chernovitz. We've had quite a few scores in the first half, Buddy.
A few points on the board as we've got 30 so far. David Ann Roman opened the scoring with 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Took a screen pass and ran it 35 yards. Kick was converted to give him a 7-0 lead. Bazzuto went 1 yard. At 11:35 of the second quarter, it made it 13-0. Bobby Terriano kicked the field goal for the Spartans at 6:12 of the second quarter, putting the Spartans on the board at 13-3. Then David Ann Roman took a punt on his own 40-yard line, went into the end zone, and made it 20-3 with 2:25 left to go in the first half. Brad Chernovitz completed a pass to Brett Cox with 1:15 left to go. Took him 1 minute and 10 seconds, but the Spartans put their first touchdown on the board. Finished the scoring in the first half. It's 20 for the Red Raiders, 10 for the Spartans as we're set to go here in this second half.
And Amity will get the kickoff. They'll get the football to begin matters here in the second half. Kicking off is Potke, and end over end, and that is going in the direction of Atosha. Atosha, the junior running back for Amity, is taken down outside his 20-yard line by number 54, Adam Saylor.
Saylor did a good job breaking the wedge as he gets downfield. You see Atoshan take the ball on his 5-yard line, and then he will get up close to the 22 or 23. But watch Saylor, number 54, come through right here as he just wraps up Atoshan as Atoshan tries to get to the outside, and the Spartans will put the ball in play at around the 24-yard line.
Well, let's make that ball
23.
Well, let's make that the 22, buddy. I just had a prescription change of glasses, so I'll overrule you. First down, 1st and 10 for Amity. Single sets back, and that's given to that single back, and he is taken down at about the 21-yard line. And when he gets up, I'll see the number, and that is number 35. That's Art Carter, the sophomore running back.
Single back as Carter just takes a belly. He is hit in the backfield by number 55. That's Sean Bittman, who is right on the fullback. Again, the Spartans do not seem to be blocking anyone in their run game. They are really giving the Derby Red Raiders access into the backfield. That time it was Sean Bittman with a big play.
2nd and 11 for the Spartans as we kick off things and kick off matters here in the third quarter. Amity down by 10. Senior quarterback drops back, lets it fly. It is over the outstretched hands of Hannon.
Chernovitz will just drop back. We'll see what kind of protection he gets this time. Pretty good as the outside rush from number 82, McManus. The only real pressure, he throws it downfield. Good coverage that time by the Red Raiders on Jimmy Hannon as Hannon went up, could not come down with the football.
That was Mike Potke, the outside backer in that 4-4 scheme for Derby.
It brings up a big 3rd and 10 for Amity in this first possession of the second half.
High back formation. Carter is the fullback. And a pitch out. That's to Arminio. And Chernovitz just got off that ball in time, and he took a pop, and so did the ball carrier, Arminio, by defensive end George Hay.
When you run the lead option, if you're the defensive coach and the quarterback comes down the line, you tell him that you better just meet and greet this young man. And Chernovitz was greeted pretty well there by the Derby end and it will bring up a punt situation as Amity was unable to pick up an offensive yard.
That was George Hay that popped Chernovitz. It's a 4th down, a kicking situation for Amity. And Turiano back in the football game, punts it out of bounds, and Derby is going to have excellent field position as they take over the football the first time in the second half. They lead it by 10, 20-10. Our Telemedia Valley High School football game of the week, week number 1, as we lead off the high school football season, the only game in town. And on the sidelines, there's our veteran sideline cameraman, Gary Peterson. Wave hello, Gary. Laurie Patterson along with him, a welcome addition. First down for the Raiders, and they take over excellent field position, as we said, at the 39. That's Bizzato cracking straight ahead. And let's check to see who starts at quarterback for the Raiders as they rotate their sophomores.
Bizzato just comes through again off tackle. Really, you notice the difference in the openings of the line. That time, the defensive end, Singo, just got drilled backwards. Watson comes up, but Chernovitz comes in to make the tackle, but it's a big, big gain for the Derby Red Raiders. They're just pounding the ball straight ahead.
It's a loose ball, and the quarterback center exchange was never there on the mesh. That's Ruther, who started at QB for Derby in the second half, and Amity has the football. Bob Marlowe coming up with the recovery.
Big recovery for Bobby Marlowe because Amity did nothing in their first possession. Derby, as Eddie said, had great field position, and the Spartans now get a turnover on their own 31-yard line, and they have got to do something positive on offense here in order to establish some type of a running attack. They cannot throw the football exclusively. They've got to be able to run the football, and their 2 backs, Carter, Atoshin, and Arminio, have got to be able to get some room to run.
So Amity has it on a first down. Chernovitz looking to throw over the middle for his favorite target. It's picked off. On the other end is that Roman. It is the tri-captain, Dave Roman, on a pick-off of a pass intended for Cox.
Chernovitz will overthrow Cox as he gets rid of the football. Ball is on the tips of Cox. He can't come down with it. And Roman playing center field there to make a fine interception. And the Spartans return the favor by giving the Derby Red Raiders the ball back on the 39.
So both teams exchange turnovers here in the early going in the third quarter. And Bizzato has picked up some valuable yardage for Coach DeCenzo's team. Cracks the left side of the line as he gets inside the 35 to about the 33 before he's upended by Chernovitz in the secondary.
Again, you'll see the end get turned out. Singo just gets turned out, and then Chernovitz, Singo, and Marlowe will be in on the tackle. Give Marlowe most of the credit, but another 5-yard gain for the Derby Red Raiders.
Ball is at the 34-yard line. Wing T look for Derby. Again Bizzato, and again off the left side behind Bittman, Deruba, and Mendez.
Derby is just really driving the Spartans off the ball. You'll see the numbers of those white jerseys being stood straight up with a lot of room for those ball carriers. The 2 linebackers really are doing all of the tackling because no one inside is doing any kind of a job of cutting off that line surge by the Derby offensive line.
Ball is spotted at the 28. Robinson a wing to the left side. They give this time to Enroman, and Enroman inside the 20 to the 15 and inside the 15.
I hate to pick, but if you watch number 82 for the Spartans, he gets just driven inside by the wingback. Watch number 82 come across your screen if you pick it up here. He's responsible for contain. There is being knocked down by number 32 right there, and that gives the outside lane right there to Roman, and that's what he's been able to do all night. Amity has got to get their ends involved in the football game.
First down at the 13, and cracking for the hard yardage is Bizzato. The Raiders have used that running game to good effect this evening. And Roman, if it's not been in Roman, it's been Bizzato. Bizzato from that fullback spot. This time, though, Amity stops him after a pickup of about 1.5 yards. The ball just outside the 10-yard line. We're in the third quarter of play on Telemedia Sports, our Valley High School football game of the week. Derby leads at 20-10. Massey out to the left side. They try, and Roman cuts it back inside the 10 to about the 6-yard lines. Did not see the hole to the outside, cuts it back in. That instinctive running ability of a great back such as in Roman.
Watch, as Eddie said, as he wants to get outside, you see the guards again in front of him. He will find the opening there. He just darts back, picks up good yardage close to that 5, inside the 5, close to the first down, or it'll be a 3rd and 5, but a great job of just getting to the corner and finding the seam, following his guards and getting up in there. DeRoba and Leachu are just doing an awesome job. Number 57, Angelo, and Joe, number 77, the sophomore and junior respectively, are doing a super job of getting David and Roman that corner and getting him good yardage as he turns upfield.
Ball is at the 6-yard line as the Raiders are up on the football. 3rd and about 5. Knocking on the door again. This time it is Robinson, the junior running back, and Jeffrey gets it down to about the 5-yard line. Cox on the tackle for Amity.
Good job by number 42, Brett Cox, reading that off-tackle play and getting into it. It'll bring up a 4th down for the Derby Red Raiders as Amity in their goal line unit along with Derby in their goal line offense. They've got the 3 backs across in a kind of straight T look. That time as the back went to the near side, Brett Cox read it very well, closed it off, and it brings up a 4th and 5.
Play action. Ruther throwing it out. It is incomplete. It was intended for Robinson. Chernovitz on the coverage, and the Amity Spartans will take over on downs deep in their own territory.
They cheated the near back out as he tried to get out into the flat, Robinson, and then the throw from Ruther was out. You'll see Chernovitz had a better shot at it, did a good job of deflecting it, and we've got a turnover possession. The Spartans will get it again at their own 5.
And let's take this quick timeout.
For the newest look in fashion jewelry, get a pair of unique ear pins available at Thomas Jewelers. Whether it's clipped on or worn as a pierced earring, the ear pin curves to the contour of the ear, creating a look of sleek sophistication and offering an elegant twist in fine jewelry. Come see Thomas Jewelers' stunning collection of ear pins in a variety of designs set with diamonds and other precious stones, starting at only $75 a pair. Ear pins only at Thomas Jewelers, Main Street in Ansonia.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. Every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
We're back, everyone. Ryan Field and Derby. Amity has taken over on their own 5-yard line. They held Derby on downs, and they are down by 20-10 in this football game. And Amity trying to find some running room and trying to establish some kind of a semblance of a running game. Arminio, the ball carrier, for about 6 on the play, a good fine bit of running on first down and some good yardage on first down, I should say.
Arminio just took the ball straight up the middle on a blast play. They pick up, I think, what would be their best gain of the night, 6 yards. Good call, and it opened up the middle a little bit as Amity has a little room, but they've got to convert a couple first downs here.
In the I-back formation, it's the sophomore Carter at fullback, and behind him is Arminio. And this time, the quarterback himself, Chernovitz, takes it straight ahead, and he's done that a few times in the football game, trying to get that first down, trying to get some better field position for Amity where they can open it up a little bit more.
They need a big first down here as they're 3rd and short, and you can see Brad and Brett Cox and the other Bobby Marlowe have had to go both ways, and you can see he got up that time. There is fatigue setting in on that Amity sideline, and that's one of the things that Coach Marazzi was concerned with. The guys that are going both ways for Amity have got to be able to pick it up in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and it'll be interesting to see how they react here in a tough football game against these Red Raiders.
3rd and 1, the football at the Amity 14, and we've got a flag dropped as Chernovitz takes it for an apparent first down. That's going to be a procedural call against Amity, and that's going to negate the first down.
somebody moved on that offensive line. Again, it shouldn't have happened because all they're doing is the quarterback is just taking the ball and going straight ahead. Again, that's inexperience on the part of that offensive line, as they, instead of getting a first down, are now really faced with a 3rd and long. It's a throw situation, but at this part or point in the field, or this area in the field, something that Coach Marazzi, I don't think, really wants to do. As Brad Chernovitz has had 2 interceptions tonight, one has led to a score. The second one, Derby was unable to convert, but it has given them very good field position as Amity backed up again inside the 10-yard line, right at about the 9 on a big 3rd down play.
So Amity hurt by the penalty on the assessment of the procedural call. 3rd and 6. Football at the 9 now. Little John Arminio trying to squirm his way out of a group of Derby tacklers, unable to do it, and he's just buried under there. Arminio goes at 5'4", 140 pounds. I want to say that Butch Marazzi is just happy to have Arminio playing this year. He's had an injury-plagued career at Amity. We're happy to see John in action on the football field for Amity.
He had a bad hand last year that kept him out. And the 2 backs for Amity, Steve Atoshin, the tailback, along with Arminio, are only 5'5", 5'4", respectively, at 140 pounds.
We've got a break in the action, and we'll go to our 3rd corner feature. It's called Playbook.
The trap involves the guards. The guards align themselves on either side of the offensive center. On this play, the guard will pull and he will trap the defensive ends. This will allow the fullback to run up inside of that block to gain yardage. The trap play is a basic part of any running offense, and it's a great play when executed properly.
We're back, everyone, and Bob Turiano has been punting under pressure this evening. Once again, he's standing in his end zone on the 4th down play, and a fair catch called for by the captain of the Derby Red Raiders, Enrollment, and Derby's going to take over their 2nd possession of the 2nd half at the Amity 31-yard line. You just don't do that. You don't give Derby the ball at the 31-yard line. Give them that field position, because they're going to hurt you sooner or later.
Definitely going to hurt you with this kind of field position, especially the way Enrollment and Bazzuto and Potke have been running that football.
Wing T look, Robinson the wing to the left, split out to the right side is Massey, and they're going to give it to Enrollment. And David takes the football across the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Once again, pulling on the play, Joe Litza, that right guard.
Amity is really crashing the outside corner. Number 20 that time, John Arminio, has been in the backfield to try and stop that corner or to prevent Enrollment from getting to the corner, but he still picked up 2 yards as the guard that time just picked him up and kicked him out.
Tremarchi this time in at wide receiver out to the right side, and they try Bazzato, and a fine tackle by Cox. If Cox doesn't make that tackle, Bazzato gets down the field 10 more yards.
Watch Bazzato just come through again. Lead back this time, Johnny Enrollment. Ooh, he turtles somebody right there. Pretty good block, and one of the relatives of mine watching the game there with his girlfriend who was from Derby, so we kind of balanced it out here.
Wing T look for the Raiders on 3rd and short. Bazzato spins his way forward for a few yards. Once again, Cox on the play, outstanding defensively at that middle linebacker spot for Amity.
Watch Cox now come off the block and do a good job of taking Bazzato down for a short gain. There he is. He just knifes through again. Singo, number 82, has got to have a bus ticket. He has been pushed off the line of scrimmage, and he has really got to become consistent at defensive end for Amity as he is being turned in or out as part of this offense. He's a young sophomore, and I know he is going to improve as the year goes on, but right now he is really getting a lesson in the wing T by that Derby offense.
4th and short. Bazzato, I don't know if he's reached that first down yardage or not. A couple of the Amity Spartans wrapped him up, led by nose guard Joe Gervasio, sophomore, 5'7", 145 pounds.
Tough when your nose is only 145, but he's a quick kid. As he gets through there, you see him get through there. Look at him fight. He gets Bazzato before he gets to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be close as to whether he made the first down. Good job by that sophomore, Joey Gervasio, at 5'7", 145. Very quick as the nose man.
Let's also remind our viewers, buddy, while we have this opportunity, that we'll be awarding a regular feature on our games, our Player of the Game, the Blanchette's Player of the Game presentation at the conclusion of this football game, this being our first game of the season.
First down.
You see Billy Riccio there with the football as they are trying to get the yard markers sorted out. There's a question, I guess, as to whether he made it or not. One team wants the measurement, the other team is not going to get it. And we'll see which way it goes. It looks like Billy Riccio said it is not a first down. Charlie DeCenzo wanted the measurement. Billy Riccio said it's a half a football. We're not even going to bring the stakes out. So it's going to be an Amity first down as Derby, with Gervasio stopping Bazzato, was unable to get the first down. It will go the other way. So it's a good stand by the Derby, or by that Amity defense. 1:38 left to go in this third quarter. The Spartans have to do something positive on offense, though. They have done nothing this second half.
Once again, Coach DeCenzo has been rather upset and objecting to some of the calls made here this evening. And
he wanted a measurement. He felt he should have gotten one. He did not get one. This goes back again to the problem in the second half, or the first half, with the offensive end, whether Cox was covered or not covered, which initially started this, and it has just continued. Head coach wants a measurement. Usually he is granted that right, especially on a very close spot.
Football at the 22 where the Spartans take over. Carter, the fullback, tied up, maybe one on the play, not much more after that. Sealing off the play inside is Adam Saylor, 6 foot, 185 pound junior.
I know when Amity gets on the bus to go back home tonight, the one thing they're going to be very concerned with is their inability really to do anything with the running attack. They just have been unable to handle the Derby defensive front. Derby has been moving a little bit, but the Spartans have been unable to mount any kind of an attack outside of the throwing by Brad Chernovitz and the receiving by Brett Cox.
Basically, that's been that four-man front doing the job for Derby. Is that Arminio? Yes, it is Arminio. He is stuck in the backfield by that Derby defense. Across the line, buddy, defensively for the Raiders, it ends George Hay and Eddie McManus, and the tackles Dimitri Anufriavis and Sean Bittman. They have done the job all evening long across that front four. And the linebackers have also done a good job too. This is a typical Derby team. 11 seconds and now 10 seconds as time is moving down here, and concluding matters here in the third quarter. As Chernovitz looks to throw, throws it out to the left side. It is incomplete. Diving for the ball and the interception, but unable to come up with it, was Mike Massey. And that is the end of the third quarter here at Ryan Field. Our score is Derby 20 and Amity 10.
Hello, I'm Bob Archer of Kasdan Elm City Fuel. We have supplied and installed high-quality oil-burning boilers in New Haven and the Valley area for over 50 years. Dunkirk boilers lead the industry in value and design. Our Dunkirk cast iron wet base boilers with Riello oil burners provide our customers with clean, economical heat and plenty of piping hot water for domestic use. Dunkirk, in business since 1928, offers a 20-year warranty on all its high-quality boilers. Call us today for a free estimate.
Of all the weapons used in the world, in the last 40 years, none had more power than this one.
We're back, everyone, and we're set for fourth quarter action here at Ryan Field. And Amity starts off the fourth quarter with a fourth down and an obvious kicking situation. They're just outside their 20-yard line, and Turiano will be back punting the football. And he gets it off. It's a low punt coming in the direction of Enroman.
Pretty good wall.
Straight up the middle now as Enroman gets it inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Dave Enroman has not missed a beat, and this is his first game of the 1992 season.
Enroman gets a line drive. Turiano unable to get any height on the football. Gives Enroman a chance to come back upfield, and he does a good job of just picking his way back inside the 35. Again, the Red Raiders with great field position as we open this fourth quarter. They enjoy a 20-10 lead.
Cox on the tackle, his handoff there ends up in the hands of Enroman along with Bob Marlowe on the play. It's short yardage on that first down carry.
Watch again straight ahead. This time Marlowe will get a piece of Enroman first, but Enroman's going to pick up 4 or 5. You see Marlowe, and then Cox will come in to help out his partner. Picks up about 3. Again, real good blocking along the front.
They try Bozzato this time, and Bozzato cracks it inside the 30 to about the 29. Once again, Cox on the play. And quarterbacking for the Raiders, and all season long, buddy, we're going to have to look very carefully out there because they're going to alternate, and they're really giving these kids equal time. That is Tilke back in the football game. He started the game, gave way to Ruther sometime there in the second quarter. Ruther has quarterbacked pretty much the remainder of the first half, and he quarterbacked the third quarter, and now it is Tilke. So they're giving pretty much equal time to these sophomores. Third down, and that is Bozzato. A little bit of second effort by David, and he spins forward to about the 25, and he's close to the yardage for the first down.
The difference in this football game has been the ability of the Red Raiders to run the ball. They have really controlled the line of scrimmage, and that running has really run some time off the clock, but it's also kept their quarterbacks, their 2 young quarterbacks, out of real tough third and long situations. They're going to go for this 4th and short, but they have not really had to make any big plays, and that's, I think, has made Coach DeCenzo and his staff very happy. Great second effort.
Bozzato, and he's picked up the first down.
Great second effort by David Bozzato as he just comes straight ahead. He would not be denied. It's just straight ahead blocking by Derby. You've got 32 leading him. That's Robinson along with Bozzato, who got the football, and you can see that the Red Raiders, Rick Kovacs is very confident that they had that first down, and they do.
Around the football for Amity, and this young man's going to be outstanding before he ends at Amity. Eric Johnson, defensive tackle, goes both ways for Butch Marazzi's team. Dave Enroman. Dave gets down to about the 20-yard line. Bob Marlowe on the tackle.
Number 48, Dave Enroman, ball carrier. Brought down by number 42, Brett Cox.
Watch Enroman again. You got Leachu, who comes around number 77. His partner following him, DeRoba, and right up there is number 48, David Enroman, the senior, looking for that little seam. He does a great job of just finding the opening, following the guards, and then getting upfield for positive yardage. He picks 2, 3, and then all of a sudden he's picking up 10 or 15 on that play. It's been a bread and butter play of their offense tonight.
Well, they give Bozzato a break. They bring Potke into the action, and they give to Enroman, and Enroman gets about 4 yards on the play as Derby has that relentless ground attack. And once they hit you with that running attack, if they keep on gaining that 3 and 4 yards and they go for the first downs, they're not going to vary from that at all. They're going to keep at it until you stop them.
You got to stop them, Edward. And boy, I'll tell you, if I had this running attack and I've got Enroman and Bozzato and Potke and Robinson with 2 pretty good young quarterbacks, I'm going to just keep giving them the football and try and get that 3-4 yards at a crack.
So Bozzato has gotten his rest. He's back, and he carries the football. And it might be monotonous to the opponent, but it's sweet music to the Derby side of the field as Bozzato has advanced the football close to another first down.
Off the right side.
They're going to get a measurement this time. as it's very close to the first down, they will bring the yardsticks out across the field. By the signal on the sidelines, they're going to be about 2 feet short. 8:30 to go in this fourth quarter. Another touchdown will certainly put the game out of distance for the Amity Spartans, especially the way they've played in the second half. They came off, as you see, they're about 2 feet. They came off the first half inspired and really have not taken any of that into the second half of football. Their offensive team just has not gotten going. They've just really, in the second half, been unable to throw and really unable to run. And they are
field position.
Really in need of going back to the practice field, I think, to work in some things before they play again.
I think Derby has a lot to do with it, buddy. In terms of this third quarter, at least, it was the field position Derby has maintained in this whole second half.
They've controlled the football as they're about to try for another first down, and
Bizzato,
that'll be
first,
close again.
Second, and third effort. Now Amity is signaling that they stopped them. Let's await the spot now. Bizzato was hit hard at the line of scrimmage. He spins off the tackles, and the Raiders have picked up another first down.
Watch Bizzato again. He has gotten some real tough yardage as he really knocks over his blocking back. I think that's Robinson right there. He goes over Robinson first. Then he takes a Toshin down, and he rolls forward just enough to get that first down as they're right around the 10.
And it's a first down for the Raiders, another one. And why not? That's in Roman. This time, though, he is taken down, coming up to make the play from defensive end Todd Raskin, 6'2", 180-pound senior.
Watch the difference when the defensive end becomes involved here. Here's number 85, Raskin, who plays off the block very well, gets some help, but pulls down David Ann Roman for the first loss on that play tonight. He lost about a half a yard as it brings up a second down and 10 at around the 11.5.
Tremarchi out to the right side. That wing T look. Robinson, the wing back to the right side. Bizzato on a seam, and Bizzato breaks it down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line.
They are coming with Ann Roman to the near side, and then Bizzato back off tackle to the right side of that Amity defensive line. Bizzato picks up about 5. It's a third down for the Red Raiders. They are doing a good job, if nothing else, of taking time off the clock. 7 minutes left to go in the football game.
Third down, the football at the 6. Play action. Tilke running the football, the 5, inside the 5, he dives. Is he in? Touchdown. Tilke just got it in. The pylon on the right side there. And Steve Tilke takes it in for the 4th Derby score of the evening.
Here's the bootleg. When you fake that sweep enough, it puts people in jeopardy on the backside. Tilke just comes out again. He outruns Raskin, does a great job of diving, very close to the goal line. The referee says that he's in a 7-yard run by Steve Tilke, the sophomore, who now puts the Red Raiders up by a 26-10 score. 6:46 left to go.
And Potke adds the 27th point for Derby. And with just under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it is Derby 27 and Amity 10. We'll be back right after this message.
Hi, I'm Vin Capice. My opponent, Jack Bukowski, has tried the old end around. He voted for every inflated budget that came his way, yet he says he's against the state income tax. We wouldn't need an income tax in the first place if we didn't have big spenders like Jack in Hartford. Jack has fumbled the ball, and the taxpayers got sacked. Give me the ball on November 3rd, and I'll run with it.
Seymour, Beacon Falls, Ansonia. Vote Vin Capice. Paid for by Capice 92, Richard Cole, Treasurer.
That's my dad. And that's Mom. Dad's got an idea. A way to get rid of all the grody garbage that's polluting the world. He's invented a big rocket ship to shoot all the garbage into outer space. Mom's not sure, but Dad says his invention will save the world.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
We're back, everyone. Well, the Derby Red Raiders have maybe I say, iced this football game. with 6:46 remaining. A sustained drive capped by Steve Tilkey taking it in from 6 yards out. Potke converting, and the Raiders lead it by 16. That's Atosha returning for Amity, and he's buried under the pile there at the 30-yard line. And you know what Amity's got to do. They've got to fill the air with footballs.
Stop at the 30-yard line by number 32, Jeff Robinson. First and 10 for the Spartans.
I stand corrected. My mathematics need a little work. The Amity Spartans are down by 17. The Raiders on top by 17, 27-10. Thank you. That's to the truck for a correction. First down for Amity, just outside the 30-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. Derby in control of this football game. And Amity in need of a quick score as a flag is dropped. Chernovitz on a deep drop. And Bill Riccio, the referee, rules the ball down, and Chernovitz down at about the 16-yard line.
It's tough when your defensive people get to you before you turn around here, as Chernovitz just gets back, and he's going to get great pressure. Hay is all over him. Brad tucks the ball away. It comes out, and he gets a lucky call here because that ball could have very easily been a turnover. McManus was in also. It'll be a second down as Amity had committed a penalty. The Derby Red Raiders will refuse it. And right now things are not well in the Spartan camp as they are just moving backwards at a greater rate than their offense is able to bring the ball forward. They're now second and about 25 yards.
Second and long at the 16. Chernovitz back to throw. Incomplete as he swings it out to Cox. Covering for Derby and Roman, along with Potke and Massey.
Amity is a very tired football team as they go back to the huddle. You can see that the guys that have been going both ways are really a little bit tired at this point. The Red Raiders are able now, because of that advantage, to substitute a lot of people, and they're getting some fresh people into the game. Amity does not have that luxury as their guys still have to go as they hope to try and convert a big play here as it's 3rd and a mile.
They're down, and there is going to be a penalty against Amity. The ball carrier is Art Carter. He moved before the snap. Watson, check that. Watson moved before the snap, and that'll go against Amity.
Number 25, Chris Watson, just gets an early start. Tried to reset himself. There you see him, number 25. He'll end up with the ball, but he is going to have an illegal procedure, and that's going to move it back another 5 yards against the Amity Spartans as they'll be backed up now inside the. Derby's going to refuse it, so they'll be backed up inside the 25 to about the 24. And the Amity offensive unit has been 3 and out here in the second half. They have not converted a first down, and they will punt again as Bobby Terriano is on to kick the ball to the Red Raiders. And Derby has not had the ball beyond their 50-yard line. They have been in Amity territory the entire second half every time they've taken over on offense, and that's been a big difference here in this 3rd and 4th period.
Terriano standing at about his 5-yard line, gets the snap from center, and Derby set for a return. And a fair catch, though, called for by Roman at the 49-yard line of Amity. And Roman calls for the fair catch. Derby takes over, and with a 27-10 lead, they have 5 minutes to knock off the clock right now, and knowing Coach DeCenzo as I do, they're going to run the football. And he's going to get some young players he's going to sprinkle into this football game, as he's already shown on defense. First down. The quarterback is Tilkey. The running back is a sophomore. I believe that's 25. Yes, checking into the backfield, Joe Cabral. And the Derby coaches are very high on this sophomore.
He will just pick up where David Ann Roman left off as he follows the 2 guards around the corner. Litza and Adam Saylor, who was in for Angelo DeRoba, and they are just continuing where they left off with their running attack as here he comes again.
Well, they try Cabral, and he, again, as I said, he's been a very pleasant surprise. Coach DeCenzo very high on this young sophomore, And Cabral squirms for a few on the play. As we wind things down in our first telecast of the high school football season. Hey, before I forget it too, thanks, a big assist for our spotter, Rich Balazzi, a senior for the Derby Red Raiders, out with a knee injury. Rich hoping to get back into action in a couple of weeks. A first down for Derby. And they give to number 34 into the lineup, and that is Jamal Baskins. So not only does Derby have good senior running backs, but their underclassmen run the ball well too.
This is just a straight-ahead play to the fullback as Baskin just comes over where Bazzuto had been running and makes pretty good yardage, picked up about 8 yards in that first down carry as the Red Raiders are inside the 35 to about the 34. Again, this running attack has just really worn down the Amity defense.
Well, they try Baskins again. This time he is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Number 34, Jamal Baskins off the right side. Brought down by number 75, Eric Johnson.
Yeah.
Reverse pivot by the quarterback. Baskin gets the football coming right up over the middle. Picks up a couple of yards before he's dragged down. He'll be short of the first. It's a 3rd and short.
Football at the 33-yard line. They try Baskins again, puts on a couple of moves, spins for the first down inside the 30-yard line before he's taken down by number 50 for the Amity Spartans.
Martin Rigione coming in. He's replaced one of the linebackers. He's a young sophomore that the Amity Spartans have high hopes for also. Again, though, the Derby Red Raider football team just grinding it out with 3, 4, 5 yards at a clip out of this wing T. A strong misdirection offense, and they've done a great job with the misdirection.
Cabral running the football to the 15 to 10, and the sophomore goes in for the score. Joe Cabral.
Cabral just comes off tackle on the power sweep. Someone's going to miss him right here. He just outruns this tackle, and then he'll break a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. He just turtles someone there and goes all the way for a touchdown. Again, the Red Raiders now with 34 points on the board in this football game. 2:27 left to go, and Derby has just answered the critics who say that they are a young, inexperienced team with 34 points against the Amity Spartans in this opening game.
Potke will attempt to make it attempt to get it up to 34 points, and he's been accurate thus far this evening. And Potke drills it through the uprights, and Derby has taken a 34-10 lead. And if there were any questions, if there was any question about the outcome of the game, that touchdown sealed it. It's going to be a Derby win in this opener, the opening week of the football season. By the way, Derby will be traveling to Sheehan to face the Titans next weekend, as Derby hopes to go 2-0 on the season. And Amity is going to go right into the pressure cooker because they're going to face a tough Brantford Hornet team. So for Coach Butch Marazzi, could be a long season, but you know, one of the things, buddy, I'm struck by when Butch talked about the team a couple of nights ago with me, he said, you know, there's a bright future on the horizon with Amity. This club has an awful lot of sophomores. There's an awful lot of inexperience. We're only talking about 6 seniors on the team, and they're playing for 1992. But the Amity Spartans have a bright future.
Well, I would agree to a certain extent if these guys decide that football is going to become important in their lives, and I mean that sincerely. The sophomores have got to improve, and they've got to grow in the year that they have, or they're going to continue to just be a mediocre group of young men. They've got to learn some lessons from this football game, and they've got to improve each week, and I think that's going to be a key to the Amity future, and I know that's what Coach Marazzi is hoping for. These young men must grow.
Potke will be kicking it off. And that's Watson with the football. And Watson almost breaks it as he's finally taken down outside his 40-yard line. Chris Watson.
Watson comes right up the middle, and he is one step away from getting into the open. Does a good job running through the wedge right here, and a great tackle by number 33. Potke gets him, and he pulls him down. That's Mike Potke who prevented that from going the distance. Spartans will come out with a new offensive unit also with about 2:08 left to go in this game. Kevin Neal at quarterback.
First down for the Spartans and a junior quarterback, Neal, and that soft middle, and Neal recognizes it, and the 6'2", 155-pound junior signal caller gets the ball close to midfield.
Neal has great speed for the Spartans, and he has the ability to get outside, as you'll see him just take the ball straight ahead. Good yardage inside there for first down. It picks up about 8. It'll be a 2nd and 2 for the Spartans. 1:30 left to go, and they're just trying to get some people some playing time here as the Derby Red Raiders have been impressive in this first opening game victory.
2nd and short. Neal is the quarterback, I-back formation. And the hand is to the tailback, and he is going nowhere. That is number 34, Atosha, 5'5", 135-pound junior running back. And there's a good picture, a good shot of Mr. Joe Litza. You can hear an awful lot about him, a fine athlete here at Derby High School.
He has done a creditable job as an offensive guard. David Ann Roman is going to have to take him and his buddy out to dinner because Angelo DeRoba has done a super job also. And a lot of that offensive yardage that David Ann Roman got tonight is chalked up to those two young men as they got around the corner and did a good job in opening up those holes.
Neal takes it straight ahead for an Amity first down as we just wind down the clock here. Both coaches are trying to empty out their benches as this contest has been decided.
And Eddie and I have voted and we decided, so see if you pick with us the player of the game. Shortly we will present the Blanchette Sporting Goods player of the game to one of those players on the field for the Red Raiders.
Neal's going to wind up on first down. A little bit of a collision there with the receiver and the defender, and it's no call on the play. The pass goes incomplete on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd down. 6 ticks left in this football game.
Depending on the play for Derby, number 37, Brian Woodward. Pass is incomplete, 2nd down, 10.
Kevin Neal is the quarterback. Neal throwing out to the left. That's Raskin with the football. Raskin on the near sidelines, taken out of bounds at about the 31-yard line by a pair of Derby Red Raiders. And is that it? I believe it is. That's the football game. Time is run down here at Ryan Field in Derby, and our final score on our first weekend of the season, Derby 34, Amity 10. We'll be back with our presentation of our Blanchette's Player of the Game right after these messages.
Being a teenager isn't what it used to be.
Gone are the days of sock hops and soda shops. Today's teenagers have a lot more to worry about than they used to.
Now there's a TV show that explores these concerns from a teenager's point of view.
It's called On the One, and it's on Telemedia's Cable 10.
So if your biggest concern is what you're going to wear to school tomorrow, then maybe you should watch On the One.
But if your concerns run a little bit deeper,
then you should definitely watch.
Watch On the One this fall on Cable 10.
Blanchette Sporting Goods, a complete line of top-quality name-brand sports equipment. Athletic shoes by all the top manufacturers. Supply your team from head to toe with customized sportswear. Trophies and plaques for all occasions, custom engraving on the premises. Let them know your team with a large selection of licensed goods. Above all, customer service is a top priority. Blanchette Sporting Goods in Shelton. We don't just know sports, we live it.
Well, buddy, we have our first Blanchette's Player of the Game award winner standing right by. And very little question, we didn't have to do too much thinking about it this evening. Our first winner, our first player of the game winner of this 1992 season, the tri-captain and star running back for the Derby Red Raiders, Dave Ann Roman. Dave, congratulations, fine effort, and your team's first victory.
Thank you.
And David, I want everyone to see Blanchette, Sporting Goods Player of the Game. We start a new tradition here with you being the first recipient. I have to say that your two guards, Litsu and Angelo DeRoba, did a great job, but you just had an awesome night. That play where you come outside on that outside play, have you worked on this a great deal, and what is the pattern that you use to pick a hole?
Well, on the run?
On the run, when you come around the corner.
On the buck, usually I go on the outside, but tonight they were pursuing, trying to get me to cut it in, and that's all I did. I cut it in, guards pulled out, and I scored.
You guys work hard on that screen pass, too. That was the first touchdown. Big play, as it was a 3rd and big for you. You work hard on it. What did you see to give the key that play could work?
Well, the screen, we knew Amity was going to try to cover that, but we knew we had to run it, because those are one of our base plays, the screen and the buck. But we had to do it, so we did it and we scored. So
it worked very well for you. Also, now you're a very young football team. You guys built a lot of confidence here. Have you guys set any real goals for this football season, or is it too early to talk about?
Well, our main goal was just to contend for the Hoosie. After last year's losing season, we just want to get the winning season and maybe contend for the Hoosie. We don't want to be a light team. We want to be a team to beat.
You guys have certainly established yourselves tonight with a great win over an Amity football team that came in here really with a lot of heart. They wanted to play a good game. You guys did a great job. We're going to see you again. Congratulations on a great effort.
Thank you.
Edward?
Let's remind our viewers, too, buddy, before we conclude matters, that our next game on telemedia will be Ansonia traveling to Shelton. Ansonia at Shelton, our next telemedia Valley High School football game of the week. And once again, to conclude matters here at Derby, and our final score was the Derby Red Raiders 34 and the Amity Spartans 10. On behalf of our player of the game, Dave and Roman, Buddy Chertovitz, this is Ed Clements. Good night, everyone.